Hello everyone, my name is Anuj Jindal. I welcome you to this session. Recently, बहुत सारे मैंने देखे स्टूडेंट्स के कॉल्स आ रहे हैं, स्पेशली दोज हु आर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर आरबीआई 2025, वेदर ग्रेड ए और ग्रेड बी, जो भी उनका टारगेट हो. मैंने ग्रेड ए इसलिए बोला बिकॉज एक्सपेक्टेशन है कि ग्रेड ए का नोटिफिकेशन भी आ सकता है. In that scenario, if grade A notification comes, we need to be a little certain, have a little idea about the expected pattern and the syllabus of the exam also. I've also created videos on that. So these students coming back, these students who are thinking or have already started preparing for RBI 2025, they are asking the same question again and again. So I thought that probably this is a big problem. Students are not finding enough content or videos or websites online where they can find a solution to this. So I thought let's create a session on this as well. So they are asking, and majority of the students are asking similar questions, and the questions are, what exactly is the pattern of the examination? How is RBI examination actually conducted? We need to have an idea about it before we start preparing. How many questions, how many marks, how much time? We need to have that understanding so that we can create a structure in our own mind about the examination. So I thought let's discuss it in detail, try and talk about it, understand it, जिससे कि जितने भी confusions हैं हम लोग उससे आगे बढ़ सकें and we can actually start preparing for the examination. So here I am today. I will be talking about RBI examination grade A, grade B. I will be majorly talking about grade B, but I know that even if grade A comes, because it is also going to be a managerial level post, the expected pattern and the way the examination will be conducted will be very similar. One or two tweaks here and there, but not more than that. So let us get on with it. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. The examination is conducted in 3 phases. Phase 1, which is qualifying, and that is why the word elimination, the focus of the body, examining body, is to eliminate as many students as possible. That is why it is qualifying in nature. Phase 2 is where majority of your merit is created, and that is why the word merit being used here. Phase 3 is the personality and interview round where the actual selection, final selection happens. That is why the words personality and selection, which is similar to merit, because here also whatever you score becomes a part of your merit, but not only merit. It is the round where final selection happens, not here. That is why this is what differentiates the 3 phases from each other. Now we have understanding how many phases the examination is held in. Let us begin with phase 1, then I'll come to phase 2, and then finally interview. In phase 1, you have 4 major subjects that are being asked. In grade A, you might also have computers. They might also add that. They might not want to add it as well. For example, in SEBI grade A, which is also a similar level of post, assistant manager, you do not have computers. Similarly, in NABARD, you have a lot of qualifying subjects in phase 1, and then you have merit subjects in phase 1. So that differentiation might also take place. We don't know, but the subjects by and large will remain the same. 1 or 2 tweaks here and there, additions or subtractions. For now, quant, reasoning, English, general awareness, these 4 subjects combine together and create one paper of 120 minutes. 120 minutes, one paper, 200 marks and 200 questions. So in short, you're not getting even 1 minute to solve each question. So time management, time optimization automatically becomes a big challenge here and also a big area of focus here. In quant, there are 30 questions of 30 marks and the time allotted is 25 minutes. In reasoning, 60 marks, 60 questions, time allotted 45 minutes. In English, 30 marks, 30 questions, time allotted 25 minutes. In general awareness, 80 marks, 80 questions, time allotted 25 minutes. So you can see here, general awareness, majority of the marks being allotted here, but time still is not very large. And because the questions in general awareness are now becoming more and more lengthy, so majority questions that you can do or maximum questions that you can attempt in these 25 minutes has come down to 45-50 from 80, as large as 80. That is how the way the examination is being attempted by students is changing slowly and steadily as the exam is evolving. So these are the distribution of marks, questions and time. Why I have mentioned time specifically is because for every section you get different time. So the moment I start attempting quant, I cannot jump to reasoning. I have to spend 25 minutes on quant. If I've started with reasoning, I cannot jump to English or any other section. I have to now spend 45 minutes on reasoning. It's a good thing and also a bad thing. Good thing for those people who are more balanced in their preparation, who are covering all the subjects, giving them enough time, and bad for students who are relying more on journal awareness and relying less on quant, reasoning and other subjects. Because you only have 25 minutes, you cannot spend more time and get more marks here. जितना दूसरे को मिला है आपको भी टाइम उतना मिला है. So time limitation automatically puts a barrier in front of you as to how much can you score. That is a major limitation that has come forward. As I said, it has advantages as well as disadvantages. Let's understand the sequence of this examination. Now this sequence keeps on changing. Okay, 1 or 2 years back it used to be first quant then reasoning. This year I think it was reasoning quant. Different students also come out with different sequences because RBI does not reveal this sequence. What I mean by sequences, as you enter the examination hall, start with the exam. The first 25 minutes you get general awareness questions and you cannot move on to any other section. You have to do general awareness questions only. Then for the next 25 minutes you get English questions. You cannot jump on to reasoning or quant. You have to spend time on English only. And after you're done with general awareness in these 25 minutes, you cannot then come back to general awareness later also. So there is a limited time, specified time for every subject that has been allotted. As I said, advantages, disadvantages both. Cut off मैं यहाँ पे discuss नहीं करना चाहूँगा because it keeps on changing and I believe cut off puts a barrier in front of students. So I would want as a student myself to maximize my score and not put a limit on how much I can score based upon the cutoff. Okay, let's come to now phase 2, which is merit section. Phase 2 is the one which decides your merit to a very large extent. A total of 300 marks are allotted in phase 2. In phase 1, whatever you score, it helps you qualify for phase 2. The top 3,000, 4,000 approximately students come to phase 2, but the marks that you received in phase 1 are irrelevant after that. They do not matter after you have cleared phase 1. They are like आपके लिए कूड़ा है, वो आपके लिए कोई relevance उसकी नहीं है. What is relevant now is how much you score in phase 2 because your final merit is going to be decided based upon your scores out of these 300 marks. अब ये 300 marks का division कैसा होता है? Let's try and understand that. There are 3 papers that the examination of phase 2 is held in. And even in grade A, I am expecting that the pattern is going to remain very similar. थोड़े बहुत changes छोटे मोटे किए जा सकते हैं, but majorly not. 3 papers, paper 1 ESI, paper 2 English and paper 3 नीचे है finance and management जो अभी मैं दिखाऊंगा आपको. Let's come to paper 1 which is ESI. 100 marks. O stands for objective and D stands for descriptive. Descriptive means answer writing. So 50 marks are allotted to descriptive, 50 marks to objective. In objective, you will get 2 marks ke 20 questions, 20 questions of 2 marks, which means 40 marks, and 10 questions of 1 mark each, which means 10 marks, a total of 50 marks, and 30 minutes are allotted to this. So for these 30 questions, you're getting 30 minutes, which is by and large decent time to solve these 30 objective questions. यहाँ पे time crunch ज़्यादा नहीं होता है. In descriptive, again 50 marks. There are 2 questions of 15 marks and 2 questions of 10 marks. In 15 marks, about 600 words you have to write. In 10 marks, about 400 words you have to write. So 2 questions, that means 1200 words total and then 800 words total, which means you have to write 2000 words in 90 minutes. You get a total of 90 minutes here, which is even more than how much you have to write in civil services exam. Therefore, it is challenging. But at the same time, because you're answering only 4 questions and not 20 questions, so automatically, although you're writing 2000 words, but the pressure is lesser comparatively because you do not have to answer, read through new questions, figure out the answer and then frame the answer, structure the answer in your mind and then write it again and again. You have to do it only 4 times. So this is how paper 1 ESI is structured. Okay, a total of 90 minutes plus 30 minutes, साथ में पेपर होता है. So total of 120 minutes, which means 2 hours. 2 घंटे का ये एक पेपर आपका होगा. उसके बाद आता है पेपर 2 which is English, which is the most scoring, but the least focused upon paper. Total of 100 marks. There are 3 parts to this paper: essay, précis and reading comprehension. इन 3 parts में ये paper divided है. essay 40 marks, précis 30 marks and RC 30 marks. इनमें थोड़ा बहुत changes भी होता रहता है, कभी कभी RC 40 का भी हो जाता है. A total of 90 minutes, which means 1 hour 30 minutes are allotted to this. इसमें कोई section नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं है कि you can only attempt précis in the first 30 minutes. Nothing like that. You can attempt whatever you want, how much time you want to give. It depends upon you. आपकी complete freedom है कैसे आप attempt करना चाहते हो, बस आपके पास 90 minutes हैं. Then comes finally paper 3, which is very similar to paper 1 ESI in its structure. 100 marks, 50 marks objective, 50 marks descriptive. The same 20 questions of 2 marks, 10 questions of 1 mark each, 2 questions of 15 marks and 2 questions of 10 mark each, total of 90 minutes. What is important here is how is the examination conducted on the final day, which is the sequence जो मैंने paper 1 phase 1 में भी आपको बताया था. In phase 2, in the morning, there are 2 sessions. In the morning session, and the examination is conducted on 1 day only, which is a good thing because यहाँ पे normalization वगैरह फिर it goes out of the window, which is good for everyone. In the morning session, it's normally either 9 to 11 or 9:30 to 11:30. Keeps changing, थोड़ा बहुत इधर उधर move होता रहता है. Ultimately, you get 2 hours before lunch time. In these 2 hours, you are given finance and management paper. Now, this is where it gets confusing for a lot of students. ऊपर लिखा था paper 1 is ESI, and when your final scores will come, then also paper 1 scores will be ESI scores, economic and social issues, उसकी full form है. But the first paper that you will see in your final exam is going to be finance and management. So paper 3, which is finance and management, is held first. After that, paper 1 is held after lunch, and then paper 2 is held. So paper 3, 1, 2, that is the way papers are held in this entire day. ये थोड़ा confusing रहता है कि क्यों किया है ऐसा. Clean रखते paper 1, 2, 3 कर देते, why mix it up? But that is how it is. We can't do anything about it, and it doesn't really matter also. So 30 minutes finance and management. First, you will be given objective paper. It is all online, all on computers. Objective paper 30 minutes में complete करोगे. As soon as you're done with that paper, you will get a break of 2, 3, 5 minutes, or sometimes not even that, and immediately the next paper crops up, which is finance and management answer writing or descriptive writing, for which you get 90 minutes. तो 2 घंटे का पेपर एक साथ चलता है. So you have to practice in advance for this 90 total 120 minutes also, because otherwise you will go in the exam and you will get tired after 30, 40, 50 minutes, and then your efficiency, your productivity, your skills, your brain power will go down. You will slow down, and as a result your scores will also slow down. In order to prevent that from happening, it's important that you practice this 2-hour session very regularly. Then you have a long lunch break of 2 hours. Now these 2 hours are very important because this is the time where you can, number one, eat your lunch, eat normal lunch, not very heavy lunch, because then you will feel sleepy. After that, rest for a while, 20-25 minutes का एक nap लीजिए. So make sure that you're planning in such a way that you can take that nap. ऐसे नहीं कि बाहर धूप में खड़े हो. Find a park, अपना एक पिलो लेके जाओ, एक चादर लेके जाओ और आराम से लेट जाओ. पार्क नहीं है, गाड़ी लेके जाओ, उसमें लेट जाओ. गाड़ी भी नहीं है, फाइंड अ प्लेस नियर बाय. कुछ लोग होटल्स भी ले लेते हैं आसपास 3-4 घंटे के लिए और उसमें जाके लेट जाते हैं, सो जाते हैं आधा घंटे के लिए. दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. दोज 30 मिनट्स प्ले अ मेजर रोल. लंच किया, 30 मिनट्स ब्रेक लिया, उसके बाद 1 घंटे के लिए रिविजन कर लिया, वट एवर यू वॉन्ट टू रिवाइज बेस्ड अपॉन योर प्लान. Afternoon is a total of 3.5 hours. Now this is a long session, not 2 hours anymore, 3.5 hours in one go, which is very long. This is where a lot of students actually feel burnt out, and this is where they mess up their entire preparation and effort of one entire year. That is why it is very important कि आप ये practice करके जाओ एडवांस में कि 3.5 घंटे मुझे एग्जाम एक साथ बैठना है. And I've already started with that practice with my own students. Right now I am giving them 2 days to take these tests. I will start compressing that to 3.5 hours and 2 hours ultimately. That is how I want to bring them to that level where they are comfortable in the exam hall. They feel like they've always been doing this, so it's their second nature. 30 minutes. Coming back, first you will have paper 1 and then you will have paper 2, first paper 1. Paper 1 was ESI. So 30 minutes ESI objective, 90 minutes ESI answer writing. And as soon as you're done with these 2 hours, without any break, you start with English, which is paper 2. So paper 2 starts without any break. 90 minutes you have to spend on English writing. As you can see here, 90 minutes of writing here, 90 minutes of writing here. It becomes very heavy for a lot of students if they've not practiced in advance. And this is where their English scores start going down. So you have to practice it to make sure, because the examination pattern and the way the exam is conducted play a very major role in how much you are able to score. Okay. This is all about phase 2. ये आपका final exam phase 2 का हो गया. 3 papers, economic and social issues, finance and management and English. Last आता है हमारा phase 3, which is personality and the area where your selection actually happens. A total of 75 marks are allotted here. The difference is here you will be able to score a maximum of 60 to 70%. Majority students lie between 60 to 70%. Topper भी 70% तक normally नहीं पहुंच पाता है. But here you can reach up to 90%. In fact 95% तक भी जाते हैं लोग. So in percentage terms the gap is huge. You can create a good gap of 15-20 marks that can help you a lot after the interview. Therefore take the interview very seriously. Allotted marks are less, but percentage score can be very high, which can make a big difference in your final selection. Approximately 1 महीने का प्रिपरेशन मिलता है ऑन एन एवरेज. कुछ स्टूडेंट्स को 2 महीने, 2.5 महीने, 3 महीने भी मिल जाता है. कुछ स्टूडेंट्स को 1 महीना भी मिलता है. डिपेंड्स ऑन वेयर योर इंटरव्यू कॉल इज एडजस्टेड. ओके, यहाँ पे you have to submit a biodata form within 7 days. So we have to make sure that we are well prepared with our biodata form in advance. You can download this biodata form from the internet. Have a look at it. There are, I think, point number 10, 11, 12. Any 2 of these are very important. And point number 8, which is where your education is mentioned, your work experience is mentioned. These 2 areas are important. You can start even developing upon that from right now onwards. And I keep creating videos on that. How do you develop your biodata form to make sure that when you go in for the interview, the interviewers take you seriously. They don't take you for granted. उनको ऐसा ना लगे कि यार फिर से कैसा ही स्टूडेंट आ गया, बस इसको सरकारी नौकरी चाहिए. नहीं, you want to make sure that they take you more seriously. They feel that okay, this looks like a deserving candidate. Let's see how it performs. Let's give him some questions or her some questions and see how they react or respond. That is what you want when they look at your biodata form. So start preparing your biodata form from now onwards. Spend some time on it every day. Okay. बायोडाटा फॉर्म सबमिशन 7 days में हो जाता है. उसके बाद आपको टाइम ही टाइम है. Average time of interview is 20 to 40 minutes. This year it has increased to 40 minutes. Till last year it used to be 15-20 minutes on an average. Time बढ़ा दिया है अब because the number of students coming in for the interview, their number has been reduced. Ratio कम किया है. उसकी वजह से the amount of time that the interviewers are spending on every student has gone up. Which is a good thing because इससे क्या होता है, judgment कम हो जाता है. They get enough time to ask you good number of questions. You also get enough opportunity to make sure that you can impress them. You can talk about yourself. You can discuss how you actually think, feel, what are your opinions. You can actually put out your true personality in front of the interview panel. So average time has increased, which is a good thing. So we have to be ready for this as well. That you're going to have an interview of 35-40 minutes. So we have to practice, prepare accordingly. आपके mock interviews भी लंबे होंगे, तभी वो फायदा करेंगे. 10-15 मिनट के mock interview से आपको ज़्यादा help नहीं मिलेगी. 35-40 minutes का mock interview लेना पड़ेगा. वो आप mock interviews लोगे तब आपकी practice हो जाएगी. After this, after the interview, final merit list is released. Final merit list is based upon the scores of phase 2 and phase 3. Phase 1 doesn't matter here. Phase 2 and phase 3, so 300 marks and 75 marks. Out of 375, the final cutoff is created. If you are able to score 70%, nobody can stop you from clearing the examination. इसका 70% कितना होगा? 10% is 37.5. 37.5 into 7. 7 into 5, 35, 49, 52, 21, 260. This is not even the toppers marks this year was 260. So if you're targeting 262.5, then you will probably end up scoring 250, 240, 230. टारगेट जितना स्कोर नहीं कर पाओगे उससे कम ही करोगे. So target 70%, then you will come down to 60-65%, and that is enough for you to crack the examination with a good rank. टॉपर के 260 मार्क्स हैं इस साल के जो मैं आपको बता रहा हूं, और हर साल इतने ही रेंज में रहते हैं टॉपर के मार्क्स. So that is all from my side. I hope now it is more clear how exactly the RBI exam is conducted. In case you are planning, you're thinking, you're confused a little bit कि यार कहाँ से तैयारी शुरू करूँ, कहाँ से ना करूँ, what do I do? You can refer to other videos of mine which I keep putting out on my YouTube channel. That is it from my side for this session. I hope you learned something new, and I'm very sure that this is somewhere going to help you with more clarity to prepare better for the upcoming exam. I'll see you again very soon. All the best. Keep studying hard. Jai Hind.